what's happening with J.J. McCarthy, his injury, and the Minnesota Vikings. So let's get into it.
So let's talk this through here. You actually think that this could, in some sense, be good for the Vikings? I mean, not JJ being hurt, but for JJ.
I don't see how this can be really good for the Vikings. Maybe you look at the struggles that the Vikings were going on with the first two games. Like, you've seen my videos, it's only been 2 games. The Vikings only have been struggling for 2 games, right? He's been struggling, right? J.J. McCarthy in particularly, but the Vikings in general, right? Justin Jefferson had a couple of drop passes, and let's not forget, Jordan Addison is on a 3-game suspension, and they need him. I like Naylor, but I would rather have Addison over Naylor. Now, Naylor is a proven talent. That's something I will give him that a lot of other media outlets and people will not give him. Naylor is a good player, right? So I do truly believe that Naylor's team is missing the right suspensions. Jordan Addison, you have to be out there on the field. You have to be out there on the field, especially somebody of your talent. Let's be honest, right? I think what he's saying is not true. It's the second game of the season. For you to call a Falcons team terrible? Like, what? Even the last season was not a terrible season. What quantifies as a terrible season? Right? What quantifies as a terrible season? Let's look at the Atlanta Falcons. 8-9. Now, that's not a play. That's not a... They didn't. Right? That's not a playoff team. That's not a playoff record, right? Now, you got the outstanders like the Seattle Seahawks. 8-9 is not a bad record. Now, there's more cases of teams making it to the wild card 9-8. They were 8-9. You know, not perfect, but you know, that's all. That's my point. Is, you know, let's not out here try to judge.
For J.J. McCarthy to take a week to step back, to reorient himself mentally, he's got a long season of football ahead of him, and unfortunately, the schedule doesn't get easier. These first 5 games are far and away the easiest stretch of the Vikings schedule. But at a certain point, he needs to just take a reset and start.
I don't think he quite need a reset. I believe JJ has been winning his whole life. Right. What I say, this is his 4th or 5th lost game ever. You know what I mean? He lost 5th or 4th lost game ever. Come on. He's in the NFL, and this is his 5th or 4th game loss ever. He threw 1 interception. I mean, the first 3 quarters was not that bad. It was not just J.J. McCarthy's fault for the first 3 quarters. He threw 1 interception, and he had some incompletions. But it was not just J.J. McCarthy's fault. He dropped 2 passes. Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the league.
The better football that we know he can play. We saw in the last quarter of that Bears game. He can play decent football. Now, a high ankle sprain is not a vacation. It's not exactly great that our quarterback's going to be out for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe more.
Over the course of 2 games, you know? He's averaging more interceptions than games played right now. So, it's not good.
And this is, you know, the separate issue that a lot of fans are having. We moved on and we turned down a lot of options that may have been better options so far at this point in the season. Sam Darnold had a great year. Daniel Jones off to a hot start.
This about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had to get paid. He had to. Quarterbacks are some of the highest paid position. Quarterbacks are the highest paid position. Right? Quarterbacks, receivers, corners and safeties, defensive tackles and right. Yeah, not defensive. Right. Yeah, right hands. The defensive lines They get paid a fuck ton too. Sam Darnold went 14-3. Some teams is going to Seattle Seahawks. If not the Seattle Seahawks, I will even see that a Steelers. These players going to look out for themselves, so they probably had a backup plan. That backup plan, probably consisted of Sam Darnold or some other players. And there's some few other quarterbacks, or not quarterbacks, but teams that could want to use the quarterback to be competitive now and or to teach their drafted quarterback. And for the Vikings, right, you had a successful season. And I think a lot of people, and let's look at the discourse from last year, a lot of people know that it was a lot due to the team. Sam Darnold did prove himself, right? He proved himself to be a decent quarterback, a good quarterback, right? A good quarterback. A good season, right? He's not proven, but for that season in particular, Sam Darnold, a good quarterback. So, that he's going to probably ask for some money, right? He's a business. His body is his business. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, the Vikings did give him an offer. He just had a better offer, right? Different story. I honestly believe they'll probably be in the same situation. Start off the season, but it's about winning. It's about winning. You can go 17-0. If you don't win, you didn't win. You're just known as the greatest failure. Yeah, with that case, I'm going to end the video here. Y'all want some more of this? Y'all just let me know. I'll watch this, but